Hello everyone and welcome to a much different video. There'll still be a figure review coming later today, but firstly I wanted to do a sort of different video since I got a bit burned out from the figure reviews, and today I just wanted to go over a bunch of different Lego customs that I've done for every single Marvel Lego set that I have. Not every single thing is going to get covered. I'll try to, but I'm mainly just going to stick to the ones I find the ones I like the most. So firstly, I wanted to show my very own Lego Hulkbuster. I have the most recent Lego Hulkbuster right here, but I also have this much sized down version that I made from not only the remaining pieces of the newest Lego Hulkbuster, but also from the newest Iron Man mech set, which had Ultron and the comic looking Iron Man. So what I like about this one is that it has some pretty good articulation. You see it can move its arms, swivel its waist, can move its legs, and then can also perfectly fit an Iron Man minifigure just right in here, like the regular mech suits. And then this isn't the finishing piece. You just take off the head part from the Hulkbuster, then slide that on, and boom. The head's a bit oversized, but I still like how it looks. And then you can just take any big fig, and it will be perfectly sized. I never like how Lego mech suits or Hulkbusters are like just giant compared to the mech suits, or compared to the big figs. So I made my own sized down Hulkbuster while still keeping, see that one still intact. It's fine. And then, you know, this is entirely removable, so I can still have the big Hulkbuster still wear that. Then next up, I want to show my Titanium Man. Now, Titanium Man, here is. Now, Titanium Man, I would say, is one of the more obscure Iron Man villains. Like, you always hear about, I guess, the Mandarin, and then also Whiplash, and then, honestly, I think you'd be lucky to hear about Madame Mask. But Titanium Man, I feel like he never gets his flowers. Okay, he is a giant, just a giant person in an Iron Man suit. And I'm not joking about him being giant. He is humongous compared to like the other suits. And that's mostly just how the actual guy looks. Anyways, this one was made from mostly the Doc Ock mech suit that was released pretty recently, and then also some green pieces I just had lying around. And then it actually does not have anything inside this cockpit, just a couple of regular bricks in there so that the head can then be able to stay right here. As you can see, it can swivel, it can move these arms, although some pieces, because of how they're placed, will come flying off like that if you're not careful. Can move these parts, which really don't do anything. It's just there to give extra bulk. And then it can also move its legs and its feet. It is basically all the articulation of a regular mech suit from Lego. And then, of course, it is giant compared to any regular Iron Man minifigure. Then next up for large Iron Man suits is the Ironmonger. Now, while this one is much smaller and actually cannot hold any minifigures, it is still like pretty big compared to any minifigure Iron Man suit. I primarily wanted to base this one off of the comics instead of the movies. I don't have the Lego set where it has Ironmonger, so I had to make this one from the Igor that was released in the newest Hall of Armory for Iron Man. And I like this one a lot. I think he's very well compact and nice. And while I tried to have a minifigure fit in here, I just don't think it's possible. So the best you can get is just popping this off and then just taking a random head and then placing it on here, which kind of works for the panels where he's unmasked. And then, you know, you can just plop the head back on here. I also wanted to focus on bulk, so he has so that compact shape really helps for like the bulk he has. Then I also used the one-way attachment piece for the antenna. And I still kept the Igor stickers because I just liked them. I like Igor, but he unfortunately had to be sacrificed. Next one up is another small build. This one's straying away from Iron Man. It is actually the Mark I Spider Slayer. After I read the original issue with the Spider Slayer, I just wanted to make one. I thought that the issue, while it was kind of stupid, was also just very fun, in my opinion. And Spider Slayer is such a unique Spider-Man villain. Like, you got your Doc Ocks, you got your Green Gobblers, you got your bird people, but you don't have a robot that can sense spiders and then attack them. So I just used very simple pieces. I tried to keep it within the range of a minifigure scale. I unfortunately do not have a circular pure black with that's like this. So I had to use this square one. Unlike the fact that it has like a more circular face. If I did have a circular one, I would absolutely try to keep that. But yeah, you can see it's a very simple build with only like a few pieces on there. And then it does scale accurately to Spider-Man. And instead of using the actual Spider-Man minifigure, that's actually another custom, which I'll show in a bit. I wanted to show off my wounded Spider-Man, or battle damaged Spider-Man. This one is made from the pieces of the CMF Wolf, or Werewolf Spider-Man. I swapped around their torsos and their arms, and then I used some nail polish remover to remove the fur parts. I know that like some people won't like this custom because it actively like changes the minifigure, but I just did not like Wolf Spider-Man, and I thought that this was a cool idea, so I decided to just make this. And then, like I was saying before, for my Spider-Man minifigure, I used the legs from the, I think I want to say like 20, I'm just gonna go ahead and say like 2019 Spider-Man minifigure, which I have here. He has, don't mind the white hands. But, with a more recent one, I put on, so, like I was saying before, this one had red legs, or it had dual molded legs and blue arms. And then this one had the printed arms, but no dual molded legs. So I just, slapped those legs on there, and now he looks pretty perfect for Spider-Man. And, I actually have 3 of these guys who all share the same body. This one is like the purest one because it's the only one that I never altered. These other guys I did though. So, speaking of Spider-Man, what about a villain for him? So, I mentioned before that I had the Doc Ock mech suit set that released this year. And I took that set, and not only did I turn the mech into a Titanium Man, but I also used it to create just a regular Doc Ock. Those legs come flying off. Or I guess tendrils. So, using the Doc Ock minifigure plus a neck piece, and then just piling on all the attachment parts, I made this Doc Ock minifigure with pretty giant legs. And while I could have just gotten the train set, I didn't want that one. And I like Doc Ock with these giant legs. So here's what it looks like from all sides. His legs are ginormous, and it's really funny. Another one, it's not Spider-Man, but it's actually Ghost Rider right here. I used this old black bike and then just added some flame pieces from the Endgame set. I'm not taking this one off because those pieces will definitely come off and it will be just very annoying. Then for another minifigure change is Captain America, who comes from the Endgame set. I replaced his shield with this one that I had. It's old and I definitely need to get a new shield. I then added white arms onto him. I'm meaning to add like a navy blue shoulder part. Then I gave him Iron Spider's legs so that he has his red boots, and I also changed out his brown hands for red gloves. I did this primarily just so that he had a more comic book appearance, and I really do hope that LEGO does more comic sets because those ones have my most favorite designs. Then for our next one, there's War Machine, who comes from the mech set, or the War Machine mech set, and I really like this minifigure because of the comic book appearance. And then I added on this turret piece so that he had a larger, so that he had his shoulder cannon and so that it was pretty big because I thought that would be cool. Then for a next one, and this is one of my most loathed and most adored builds, it is the Fantasticar for the Fantastic Four. Johnny's not facing the right way. Here we go. The Fantastic Four in their Fantasticar. This is not based off of the movie Fantasticar. It is actually based off of the comic book, one of the comic book versions, because I just could not build the movie version with the parts I had. I also added some pieces for Reed to stretch more, and then did this part for his hand to be stretching out. And then I also added on this piece so that Johnny can hang off the back of the car. Then Sue's right here. I didn't really change anything for Sue. For Ben, I added white stud pieces onto the ends of his feet so that he was taller than the rest, and so he had his boots. And then I also built my own Herbie right here out of some pretty simple parts. I'm not gonna take him off here because that black part will not come with me. And then they're supposed to go into the hand of Galactus right here. Kind of just like, and this is going to be real annoying for them to like stay up because of the weight. Yeah, right here. And then, yeah, you can already see how it's falling over, but it's supposed to look like that pretty much. And then I also changed the Endgame scene or set so that it had more minifigures and more stuff going on. And then for my absolute favorite custom thing I've done, it is Iron Man's Hall of Armory. I mentioned before that I got the most recent Hall of Armory set, and I immediately went to town building a true display piece for it. I have the comic book Iron Man, Tony Stark minifigure that came in the versus Ultron mech set. Then I have all the pieces just right here. I have the Mark 43 right here that came in the Hulkbuster set. I also have the Mark 6 and then the Iron Patriot armor. And then also have some regular clothes right here. And then I guess a piece of the, I'm just gonna call it a piece of the Model 1. And then right here is actually my own version of the Model 1. I guess you could say it's that recreated version from when Tony was getting back into being Iron Man. And then you also have Dummy right here. And then last but not least, you have Pepper right here as well. And then also a stereo. Or I guess a record player. Never mind. I'm stupid. So yeah, it was really fun putting together this scene because of the amount of gray bricks I have. Oh yeah, I also have like this weird suit I also made. It was originally supposed to be the Space Booster suit, but then I used its white arms for um a mock-up of a custom Madame mask. So then if you turn it around, there's some more stuff. You have uh a Batman suit as a reference to the death battle where Iron Man where Iron Man won, thankfully. A reference to the Silver Centurion right here. It's like supposed to be right there and like compact. Then some random miscellaneous. It's hard to show. Some random miscellaneous things I just put in here. Messed up attempt to like, I tried to like get like an actual like Iron Man mad or like Tony Stark angry face without all the blue stuff on it, but I messed up. So I just disfigured the regular face. And then also I guess you could say like this chest piece is like, it's from the one Doctor Who thing, but I guess you could call it like a reference to Superior Iron Man. And then the Dalek head right here. And then just like a bank vault with some cash. And then a knight. And then one of the spider bots that Spider-Man sometimes has for some reason. Even though he's bored. It's hard to keep all this right here. And so that's basically all of them. I also have like this plate right here where I just keep a bunch of random stuff. Like other versions of like the same character minifigures I have, like my old Captain America, my old Spider-Man, my old Miles Morales figure, and then also my other Spider-Gwen figure. And this is an attempt to like make a mock-up of like what Madame mask I could probably make. I need to get like an actual golden face and like try and find that instead of this one. Cause this one's from like the pterodactyl CMF thing and it sucks for her. And then this is, Adrian Killian's hair. Oh yeah, speaking of Adrian Killich, let me actually get that minifigure because I changed that. I gave him this hair piece, which I thought was a lot more accurate to his actual hair and I just kept this one around for Scott Lang because I think that this matches his early comic appearance much better than it does Adrian Killian, and then also for any other character I want to stick it on. And then I think that's actually it for all my interesting customs. Other ones are kind of like, well, I wouldn't say lame, but they're less like excessive or I guess like interesting. Like I do have like one more minifigure one and it's Doctor Strange where I just swapped out the hands so that he would have his yellow gloves and that's it. So I didn't really change much, which is why I don't want to mention it, why I didn't really mention it sooner. So yes, that's it for this video. It's much different than my other ones, but I just wanted to tackle all my Lego customs since I've been just having them around for a while. Hope you enjoyed and goodbye.